Do you know what it feels like to be on a 24-hour flight, 3 weeks pregnant with a toddler, relocating your entire family? Hello, welcome to second episode of Pregnancy Series 2.0. My name is Bologi Steven and this is Faith, Life, Love with Bologi Steven. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So, I've been talking about, or this is second episode of my second pregnancy. I shared my first pregnancy 3 years ago on this channel. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link so you can go and catch up. On the last episode, I shared like how I found out I was pregnant, how I shared with some of my, close people. And I promised to tell you what it felt like relocating with such an early pregnancy. We found out our flight was booked for the 12th of October 2023. Found out 8 days before that. Here we are at the airport, super excited. Friends and family came with us to the airport. The mixed feeling of relocating. You're happy, but missing the family, missing home. And a few days to leaving, I already started to feel not sick per se, but I just started to feel weak. So even my packing, I didn't even pack myself. I don't even know what was packed for me, to be honest. I was just feeling weak, So my sister-in-law, God bless you, Gloria, shout out. My sister-in-law basically did all my packing for me with a lot of scolding because she kept saying, pack early. And I'm like, I'm a last-minute person. Little did I know that last minute will make me pregnant. But, anyways, day before I left, family, my parents, my aunties came. I was just so weak. My auntie was just there treating me like a baby. All of that good stuff. And then the day came, all of that, airport back and forth, luggage, everything, saying goodbyes. My friends came. Two of them already knew I was pregnant. I told one that I was pregnant right there at the airport, and she just there crying. She just started crying. She was just emotional about it and all of that. Anyways, so we get into the plane. We're excited to take off. To be honest, I was a bit anxious because I didn't know how that flight would be, to be honest. But you see, God's mercy. Throughout that flight, I was okay. I was mostly myself, apart from the natural fatigue of the journey. I was mostly myself. I was able to eat everything, but I was a bit skeptical. Oh, would I be able to handle the food? Would I be able to keep it down? Reference my first pregnancy. But it was good, to be honest. I was able to eat everything. At least I didn't starve. I was able to eat everything. God's mercy, even my toddler. Ate and ate as well. He was good as well. He really was a model passenger. It was a good flight, to be honest. Let's not belabor that. And then we got to Toronto on the 13th. We landed. My friend's husband picked us up from the airport. We were able to do a few things at the airport. This is not a relocation video. If you want to see my video on relocation, it's here on the channel. So go and click it and watch it. So I'm not going to do any relocation talk. I'm talking pregnancy now. So he picked us up, went back to their house. I hadn't told my friend I was pregnant, but she used to do she know me more than me. She should do she know my intestine more than me. So when I told her I was pregnant, she say, I know, which was what she did 3 years ago. So it don't surprise me. There's a way that Maddie is. If you know her, I would have mentioned her name, but I don't want to mention her name. But there's a way that Maddie is. Anyways, but it was just nice, seeing them, reconnecting with them. It had been a year or so we hadn't seen, and all of that. All nice, all good. I was still feeling myself, we're just gisting, having fun, making noise. The children were playing with themselves. Saturday was all good. Sunday we went to church. I saw old classmates at church. It was just beautiful. Ate well, one Nigerian jollof like that. And then guys, on Monday, it's not the mercy of the Lord finished, but a new dimension was about to kick in. I woke up that Monday and it was not me. It was not me. not I, but the baby that liveth in me. I woke up that day and it was different. It started all over again, just like the first pregnancy. The nausea, the vomiting, I could not eat. Like the food that I had eaten yesterday, like the rice that I had eaten yesterday and absolutely loved, became detestable. That is a strong word, but I will use it to me. Like I really could not keep anything down. The switch was so fast, you know. I just started throwing up again, like multiple times. Nothing was staying, no food was staying. I became a couch potato. The couch should have a part of that couch should have my name on it, because that's where I lived. On that couch I moved and lived and had my being. But yeah, that's all the symptoms started again, the first trimester symptoms. So I wasn't eating, I couldn't keep even water down, and then the weight loss started. I didn't even realize how much weight I lost until just recently. I saw a picture of myself in the first month, first 6 weeks of my pregnancy, and oof, it was all neck. I tried to go to church, tried to do a few things, because I mean, this is something you had looked forward to relocating. You know that, okay, yeah, in Toronto for just a few weeks before we moved to London, which is where we stay. And like, you're in the house of like one of your closest friends. You guys have things to do, places to go. Like, I like to go out. And my friends like, let's go out, because like normally you don't have to tell me let's go out. It's me that will tell you let's go out. But I really could not go anywhere. Even to like open our bank accounts, all the few things we needed to do, like coming in, it felt like work. I don't know how else to put it. To take a stroll, I was really sick. I dropped from I was weighing, what was I weighing? Almost 60 kg. I dropped to like less than 45 kg. It was really, really bad. And then in November, mid-November, we were going to move, I think November 12th, we were to move to London, which is where we're going to stay and where my brother-in-law is, right? So that's my husband's immediate younger brother. So we're like, yeah, I want to stay in London as well. So we got to their house, and it was just like moving from one couch potato to one bed potato, because like it just continued there. And wake up in the morning, you're throwing up and the whole house can hear you, and you're not eating, so you're throwing up from the bottomless pit of your stomach. Most times is bile, and you're so weak, you literally can't do anything. Now, this is the other part. My first pregnancy, I mean, it was just me being sick. In this one, I have a toddler. So there are times Ethan will come and want me to carry him, or he just couldn't understand why his mom was not being his mom in that sense. Sometimes we have to tell him that, oh, mommy's not feeling too good. He would pray for me. He would touch my stomach and pray for me. At the time my tummy started coming out, of course, we told him, oh, your baby, there's a baby in mommy's tummy. But sometimes he still wants to jump on it, all of that. Having a toddler and being pregnant, whole other story. But yeah, it was just not easy. And I was like, okay, first trimester, I'll get over it. At the same time, you still want to have certain experiences with your family. December came, it started to snow little by little. We're trying to get used to the bus system, the transport system here. Guys, I fell down in snow. Hey, God. I fell in snow. Like, what happened? We're going to church, and we're just come down from the bus. We're walking into church, and I hadn't gotten my winter boots yet at the time. So the shoe I was wearing, the sneakers I was wearing, was a bit slippery, because obviously it was not made for snow. And I was still trying to, power through. And I just slipped and fell in snow. Ethan's pregnancy, I fell with him. This one too, I fell. Like, I couldn't even laugh at myself. It was not funny. There were just a lot of things that were just happening in that time, and I was just trying to like enjoy the experience as hard as it was. Try to go out a few times when I had energy, hoping for more energy, looking forward to the end of first trimester when hopefully I would feel better. You remember in the previous episode I was saying how I just kept telling myself, oh, no pregnancy is the same, this one will be better. So then to get hit by this was like, where's the better that is here? And then in the midst of all of this, like, we're still trying to settle in. My husband's applying for jobs. I was supposed to be applying for jobs, but honestly, I was not seeing road. At some point I started to apply as well, but my husband was applying for jobs, taking care of Ethan, taking care of me, taking care of himself. He really tried, to be honest. Like, anywhere you see my husband, give him his flowers, give him his pounded yam, and then don't squeeze dollars, because I need you to give him bundle. So give him, anyways, like, he really tried, taking care of us in that season and all of that. And I remember one day many days I woke up very tired. Many days. In between the crazy throwing up and the not eating, many days I slept and woke up tired. But I remember this particular day, I woke up, I had just had enough. I just started crying. I cried. I just called my husband. I was just crying. I just said I was tired. I was so tired. And it's different being in a new place. I mean, with Ethan, I was in Nigeria. I know Nigeria, my mom's house was there. My dad was around. There's just this comfort in familiarity. But here, it's like an unknown land. Yes, I was grateful that for my brother-in-law and his wife, they're really, really amazing. My friend and her husband, super amazing. So grateful for them. But I'm not even talking about them now. I'm talking about the environment, was not familiar. So that day I just woke up and I was just crying. I had had enough. Not like I could remove the baby from my stomach, but I was just crying, and my husband was just trying to comfort me as best as he knew, And I remember, like, when I was done crying or in the middle of my cry, I just felt the Holy Spirit, like, just say to my heart that you were made for this. You were made for this. So for me, he just told me, for me, it was like, part of your purpose as a woman is to carry and birth. So you can carry and birth. No matter how hard the symptoms are, no matter what you feel, no matter how tired it is, you have the capacity to carry and birth because you were created with that capacity. That's what I felt the Holy Spirit tell me. And I'm going to say that to any woman who is watching this and in the middle of a difficult pregnancy, a difficult womanly experience, be it period, whatever it is, your body was created with the capacity for this. And you can have, some have it easy, some don't. But you can see through. That did not, it didn't take away the pain, it didn't take away the discomfort. I was still throwing up. But I remember that from that day going forward, every time it got really, really hard, I would tell myself, I just kept saying, I was made for this. I am made for this. I can do this. I can birth this baby. My body was created for this. My body was created to carry my baby. My body was created to birth my baby. I will carry my baby. I will birth my baby. It became, and the more I said it, to be honest, the more strength it gave me. The more resilience it gave me, the more assurance it gave me that, look, this is your purpose. This is your purpose. I'm not saying that, oh, all women are just created. I do other stuff, obviously. If you know me, you know that I do a lot of things. I'm a spoken word artist, I'm a lawyer, I'm a speaker, I'm a teacher. I do all of these things. But I mean that my body has a womb to carry a baby and to birth. So part of my purpose is this baby I'm carrying. And so even when it's hard, I can do this. And that really, really encouraged me. So I'm particularly sharing this for anybody that needs that encouragement, that you can do this. Your body was created for this, and it will do it. It has the capacity to do it. Continue to recite the word of God. Continue to, declare it over your body. Sometimes it will create ease. Sometimes it will take the pain away. Sometimes it will give you the strength to go through regardless of the pain, right? First trimester finished, and I'm like, woohoo! We're coming into, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Ha ha ha! This light was interesting. Second trimester came, and the nausea, the vomiting started to reduce. I won't lie. But unlike with Ethan's pregnancy, with my first pregnancy, second trimester actually came with little or no symptoms. The nausea started to reduce drastically. I started to feel a bit better, a bit more energetic. But with this one, it seemed like third trimester, like I started having pelvic pains. In the second trimester, I started having pelvic pains. I started having trouble moving, especially like from my waist down, which I usually hear is a third trimester symptom. And I didn't even have it in my first pregnancy. But I started to have all of these things, and I'm like, what's going on? So it wasn't even easy. And even eating, I still couldn't eat as much. Yes, there were a few things I was starting to tolerate, but not because they were tasting good. I was basically eating for survival. What is a craving? I had friends or cousins, I'll be like, hi, what are you craving? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what is a craving? I had no cravings. I could just find what I could eat and just continue. I ate bread. I ate bread. Maybe because it didn't have any particular taste, So I just kept eating bread and butter. Sometimes it was egg, then the appetite for the egg would go. I ate bread sharp, So that second trimester came with all of these symptoms, and I'm just like, God, I'm so tired, and it was still not easy. Like, I was like, okay, where's the ease? Where's the energy? That energy that second trimester is supposed to come with. Not me. It didn't come with that. And it was just like, okay, I can do this. I was created for this, right? Now, in the middle of this, remember that this is pregnancy in relocation. And I found out I was pregnant 8 days before I left. So before I left, we didn't do a scan, I don't even know why, because we could have done a scan. But we didn't do a scan, nothing. I guess we just thought to come here, settle in, get a scan done. We're not really conversant with the system. So anyways, we got here, got to London, Ontario. Thankfully, we were able to get a family doctor in December. Now, that doesn't always happen that fast and that easy for everybody. But thank God for his mercies and his help in human form. We were able to get a family doctor. And then now the next thing was to book me for a scan. Like, I want to do a scan in Nigeria. I will do a whole episode of Nigeria versus Canada in pregnancy and birth. Just stay tuned, maybe the next episode. But I was like, okay, scan, right? They say I have to book this one, I have to call for appointments, this one, that one, that one. I'm like, I've entered system that works. Anyways, I called the place, and the only available appointment for a scan was 30th of January. At this point, I was almost 5 months, because I was about 21 weeks when I did this scan, So the good thing was they were able to combine all, like, the anomaly scan, the gender scan. I will tell you about that and all of that. But I say that to say that up until this point, me and my husband will say to ourselves that this pregnancy was pregnancy of faith. Like, we didn't know whether not boy, whether not girl. We didn't know whether not one, whether not two. Was having one baby, 2 babies, 3 babies. We didn't know anything. We hadn't done a scan. We hadn't seen the baby. We didn't know how the baby was doing. We didn't know anything about this baby, beyond the fact that I was throwing up. So sometimes the symptoms, as hard as they were just like, okay, you're still pregnant, you know. But so we just kept calling it like our pregnancy of faith. Like we're just like, shit, this baby's name will not be Faith like this. You know, it was really a pregnancy of faith because there was a lot that we didn't do early. You know, at least the one thing I was able to do when I found out I was pregnant in Nigeria was to buy prenatal supplements. So at least I had that to be taken before we found a doctor and did all the other tests. Every other thing took a while, you know, but thankfully we were able to get the family doctor, referred us. Eventually, 31st January, I did my scan, found out my baby's gender. I found out, okay, there was no issue, anomaly was fine, everything was good. And honestly, that was a big blessing for me and taught me faith all over again, just to trust God. You know, not everything is dependent on how much you do or how much you know or what is available to you. Sometimes you're going to be thrown, and this is not just about pregnancy, you're going to be thrown in situations where you just have to trust God. There is nothing else you can do. It's either you trust Him or you trust Him. And especially the first 5 months of this pregnancy was exactly that. All we had was trust in God, and thankfully, you know, it turned out okay. Now after that, I roll into the 3rd trimester, and guys, the pelvic pain became worse. There were days that, I mean, heartburn also started in 2nd trimester. Heartburn usually is 3rd trimester. You know, when they say the baby has shifted your organs up. My heartburn started 2nd trimester. So I was already sitting down to sleep all through the night. I'm sitting down to sleep. So one major thing that I missed in my pregnancy was sleep. I still miss it because I have a newborn, 2 months old. I still miss sleep. But yeah, I couldn't sleep well. And then the pelvic pain, like I'm moving and I can hear my joints crack against themselves. Like it's like a grind, like you know, a machine that doesn't have enough oil. I know how the friction. That was literally what I was hearing from my body when I was walking. You know, the pelvic pain was severe at times. There were lots of times I just broke down crying. There were days I couldn't walk. Like, obviously I couldn't even turn in bed. So like if I manage to sleep on his side and I wake up to pee, which is like 10 times a night, or I needed to turn to the other side, I had to wake my husband up. Hey, come and turn me. Or I want to pee, I can't come down from the bed because I can't move. I literally cannot move my body down. So what would happen is I would wake my husband, he would come, he would first flip me, pull my legs down, raise me up. And then in severe cases, which happened quite often, I was unable to move my legs. I was unable to put one leg in front of the other, literally. So he would literally like raise one leg, put it down, raise the other leg, put it down. And that's how I would walk to the bathroom. So it was really, really tough. And again, when navigating all of this pregnant, I had started applying and stopped applying because what's the point applying at 8 months pregnant? You know, so I started applying, stopped applying, didn't get a job. My husband as well didn't get a job for actually almost the entirety of my pregnancy. That uncertainty of applying, again, this is not a relocation video, but I'm saying this to say it wasn't easy on my husband to have to be applying for jobs back to back, literally have to be taking care of me, cooking for all of us. I didn't cook all through that period, literally because I didn't have the strength, and I couldn't handle this. Smell was not really a problem, but I physically couldn't. You know, taking care of a toddler, don't forget Ethan is there, sometimes he will jump on my tummy, because there's only so much that a toddler can understand. that there's a baby in mommy's stomach, right? So it wasn't easy on him. It wasn't easy on me. The uncertainty of the job, the uncertainty of the whole thing, hoping that you have help when the baby eventually comes. It was just something else. But we thank God, right? Having to transition with that pregnancy, the systems are not things it's not like, oh, I've done this antenatal before, I know how it works, I know how the hospital system works, this is a country I know. This is literally a country I don't know, I've never even visited before, I'm just coming here to live here. I have to learn how everything works. Oh, I need a health card for this, I need to have this, I need to have that. How does it work? Asking my family friends who have given birth here, oh, how is it, how does it work, what should I expect? Ask a lot of questions, especially if it's your first time pregnant or if it's your first time in a place. Please ask questions. They cannot beat you for asking questions, so please ask. That's one thing I really did. I asked a lot of questions. And then in the middle of the pregnancy, we had a number of losses. We lost, like, my father-in-law. He passed in April. End of April was such a hard month for us, guys. That is a total different video because it wasn't just about the pregnancy. We'll probably maybe share that another time. Comment below if you want to hear about it. Just dealing with difficulty, maybe as a couple, even as individuals. So we had a number of losses. My father-in-law, another close family friend, a number of losses and sickness as well. There was high blood pressure. There were sicknesses that we dealt with. That's my immediate family in this pregnancy period as well. So apart from dealing with the physical symptoms, I was dealing with a lot of emotional and mental symptoms as well. Some days I'll be worried, some days I'll just like take it to the Lord in prayer, and with my husband grieving the loss of his dad, I dealt with like having to be there for him, be a comfort for him, be a comfort for him in his grief, while still dealing with the physical limitations and difficulties I was facing. So it looked something like this. Oh, babe, how are you doing? How are you doing today? Do you want to talk? Are you okay? And in the middle of that, I tried to stand up and I cannot stand up. And I have to now tell the same man that I'm comforting, please help me move my leg because I can't move, So it really wasn't easy. But God saw us through, to be honest. God saw us through. We're able to encourage each other. Draw strength from each other. And we made it through. And we're still making it through, right? So just to like wrap up this video, I'll just say that having this baby, this pregnancy was way harder than Ethan's own. Physically, the symptoms physically were more, they were worse. There were days I was just crying, like I just stay in bed and I just cry because there's nothing else I can do. I just cry. I was so tired. Some days I just hold my husband and I just cry. It was like my release. Some days I'll call my friend and I just cry. Like, that was my release. I just cry. I pray, cry to God, cry to my husband, cry to my friend, cry to myself, and just they cry. And reminding myself that when I see my baby, it will be worth it. I look at Ethan and I remember what I went through with his pregnancy. And I tell myself, when I see my baby, it will be worth it. My body was created for this. It wasn't easy being in transition, being in a place where, in the city we literally knew only my brother-in-law, and his wife, only. Eventually, we would find 1-2 other people that we knew, which was a blessing. But at the point of the pregnancy, that was it. So it wasn't easy at all transitioning, trying to get used to this new system, get used to the new health system, applying for jobs, looking for a house. Like I always say, the good thing about seasons is that they end. And now I'm telling you the story in past tense, So yeah, being pregnant in a transition was not easy at all. But I thank God for God, first of all. I thank God for a thoughtful, a kind, and a supportive spouse. I can't emphasize that enough. That really matters. I thank God for family and friends that were a support system, still are a support system. And for family, even back home, my mom will call, my father will call often just to check in and all of that. And all those things gave me strength. So if you have a friend that's pregnant, even if there's distance, always reach out, always check on them, always gist with them, make them laugh. Not every time pregnancy, sometimes just give them random gist. They don't only want to be the pregnant lady. If they're up to it, gist them, laugh with them, encourage them, just be normal with them. And yeah, it will help to lighten them. Now, next week, in the next episode, I'm going to be telling you all things gender reveal. The gender I wanted, some of you already know, but still on still upon still. I will still tell you. I'll tell you the gender I wanted. I'll tell you how I found out the gender. You will see my reaction when I found out the gender of my baby. You would see the reaction of my family, my parents. You see the reaction of my friends. Until next episode, it was nice chatting with you guys. Take care. Bye.